and welcome to Paper People. My name is Amy Williams, and if you're a paper person, you're in the right place. On today's episode, we talked to Dani Cortez. Dani is someone I've been following on Instagram for a little while now. I love the way that she uses her journals. It is very different than me. She is a tracker with a capital T. I am so impressed and envious. I feel like every episode I talk about how I wish I could be this tracker person, and I just can't. And since Dani's recording, I have been analyzing why can't I? What is not hitting for me in terms of tracking? And to be honest with you, I still don't have the answer. I think I know myself really well, but I think I have blind spots. I mean, I think we all have blind spots. It's not just unique to me, but I almost don't know what I don't know. Duh. And I don't know what to track. I need a sip of water so badly. Hold on. So that is certainly holding me back, right? Like, I don't know what I care about. I don't know if I care about if I packed my lunch or when I washed my hair or if I finished a book on a day. I would love to have that information, but do I care enough to sit down and log it, basically? I'm really impressed with Dani's commitment and consistency. You'll hear all about how she's pretty much like a Monday through Friday every day she's tracking. And I don't know why I can't do that. I don't know if it's because I don't have a desk job where, I have to be somewhere a fixed time. I don't know if it's because I haven't set my books up to be a tracker in this way. And I don't know if it's because what do I do with this information at the end of the day? And is learning something about myself enough to make me do it? I guess not. It hasn't happened so far. So I don't know. I'm really, really thinking about this and thinking, what would it take for me to be a tracker like this? And of course, I'm not going to try to force it, because if I've been working in planners for as long as I have been and working in my Hobonichi for the last few years and it hasn't stuck, then I'm not going to force it. I am a small tracker. So in my happy planners, you'll find every week at least one sticker. This one is tracking what time I'm starting my day. You'll find one of those in each month. And so I am doing it when it matters, but I guess it's like the same things won't always matter to me. And maybe that's keeping me from tracking. I don't know. Maybe by the end of this series, knock on wood, nothing around me is real wood. Nope, that's particle board. I'll have figured out some sort of tracking system for me, because I am interested. I really am. I'm just being Goldilocks about it. Anyway, this is the last time I'll talk about trackers, I swear. Enjoyed this episode with Dani. She was so fun to talk to. Dani and I have a lot of overlap in how we grew up, our live journal, MySpace, Tumblr days. And it was really fun to reminisce about that. And Dani's just really inspiring. She says at one point, if you cared enough, you would do it. That could go towards so many things in our journaling practice, in our relationships, in our life, in our self-care, all of the above. So anyway, wise words from Dani, and I think that you'll find a lot of good takeaways from this one. So thank you so much, Dani. Find all of Dani's information in the show notes. As always, like and subscribe. I feel like I'm cosplaying as a YouTuber when I say that, but it is so helpful when you are liking and you are subscribing and you are commenting, because it's helping me realize that this is something that our journaling community wants and needs, and it helps me just invest that much more time in it. So thank you for hanging in there with me, and I'm just happy to be here, and I'm happy you're here, and I want to keep doing this forever. So let me know if you want me to keep doing this forever. Okay. Oh yeah. Means look up, so that's it. Bye. Oh, bye.
How much does tattoos influence your journaling? Does it at all?
For as early as I can remember, I remember being in fifth grade and just drawing pictures of ears with an industrial piercing because I just thought it was so fucking cool. I grew up, in a very traditional Mexican Catholic family. And so we were raised that's your body is, you're made in the Lord's image and all that stuff. And I have memories of my own parents being I would never hire someone with, gauge holes in their ears and stuff. And I think it was just part of the culture of listening to alt music and hanging out with the skater kids, and it never went away. Like it wasn't a
Oh,
phase.
sure. Yeah,
And I grew up on LiveJournal.
of course.
Yes, we did. I was
You
so
just had
excited.
to be there.
Like it was a different time on the internet, and I just tell people all the time, I was like, I am so glad that I was the age that I was, when the internet came. It was the perfect time because we saw it evolve and we saw people experiment a lot more. We weren't so constrained to like, we weren't so constrained to what the website was or what the social media
Or like
was.
what the algorithm
What
wants. Like,
there was
and I
no
think
algorithm.
I like to think that it has made us accepting, like I could care less about the algorithm. I'm like, it doesn't hurt my feelings. I know
Yep,
I'm better than it. And I think it's because we like grew up on the internet in that way,
we
putting it all out
did.
there.
And my favorite thing too, like about that is like we all became coders.
I know.
I was 13 coding
Hmm.
HTML like
Hmm.
raw, like no
Hmm.
template. You know what I mean? Like
And nobody showed me. It's like you
nobody
just
showed
pull it
me.
up and you figure it out and it's trial and
I
error.
know.
I love that.
Love it. Claire from online recently did like a thing like put your favorite online memories or
Mm.
whatever, and people
Yeah.
were posting like, Tumblr obviously, but like Blog Lovin' and all these
Mhm. Oh
kind
yeah.
of like websites from back when, and I was like, oh my God, that was a beautiful time.
Mm.
Glorious. It was like you had the minimalist, but then you had the Mad Rat hair, like
Hmm.
those
Post
live journal
Secret
communities.
Sundays, I remember
Oh, secrets.
jumping out of bed to log into Post Secret so I could read
Ooh,
the days.
I know. It was so good. And so like I want to say that like probably being part of a little bit of a alt community just because I listened to Blink 182, like it
Hmm.
didn't take much.
Sure.
Um, and then looking at other people in who were also like on LiveJournal, we all kind of had similar interests. It's how we shared
Mhm.
music. It's how we
Mhm.
shared, news about going to local shows. It's where we posted pictures of our
Mm.
tattoos, and, it was just a magical time. And that is really like the first time that I was in a habit of long form journaling.
Totally.
It's like, oh my God, I had such a hard time in math today, but I know that as soon as I get through chapter 3, it's going to be good. And then I would get the HTML going to do like bullet points
Hmm.
and like,
Oh my
open
God, you just
caret.
unlocked something
B.
so deep about
It's
the
the
bullet points.
it's like the open caret small, and
Hmm.
then you put in the font because I wanted Courier New so
Of
bad.
course. Yeah.
It
It
looked
was
like a
Georgia for
typewriter.
me. I loved Georgia.
No, I love the typewriter
Of
look.
course. Yeah.
It looks so analog but digital,
Hmm.
and then you just get so inspired by other people. We were taking pictures of everything,
I know.
of our shoes in like really moody angles with low lights. And then girl, Photoshop.
Oh.
Oof.
See, out in the country, we didn't have Photoshop. I had dial-up internet until like senior year. So like
Yeah. I mean,
the
that's what it
computer
was.
could not support like we didn't have like Wi-Fi. I was like plugged into the wall. We
Yeah.
could not support Photoshop, unfortunately. So I still have a big hole there, but like I was
There are gaps in
there.
your resume.
Oh, exactly. 100%. But I was on those like free editing
For
apps, like
sure.
getting
Oh,
in
yeah,
there,
yeah.
boosting the vignette,
Hmm.
you know? Oh my,
Oh, yeah. Or the curves. Woo! With
yes.
the high contrast yeah, I went to a high school. I went to is a magnet school that's about 45 minutes away. We got bused from our local schools, and it was for, science and technology, and there was a sister school for health sciences, but it ended up just being all the misfits,
Mm,
who didn't want to go to their home high schools. We didn't have a football team, we didn't have band, we didn't have choir. And it just ended up being this hub for misfits and kind of like maybe like musicians or maybe poets. Just we're all together. My senior class was 100 people, so we're just a very tight knit.
same.
We
Yeah.
were all in LiveJournal. We're all like learning how to code in our classes because it was science technology
That's
heavy.
so cool.
And it was dope. Like I look back and I'm like, they really let us do whatever we wanted.
Oh
Like
yeah.
yeah, I don't know. It was great, but that's where the journaling, live journaling every day. And like, I just remember everything. The
Mm-hmm.
fisheye lens,
Mm-hmm.
like it was
I
wonderful.
I also think it made us like addicted to that feeling of like release and how it feels good when you are done.
Mm-hmm.
Like you get the feelings out, you get it on the page, you get it on the like the
Mm-hmm.
browser or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you're just like, okay, cool. I do actually feel better. I mean,
Yeah.
I wrote in my diary every day from like middle school to like college, end of college. Like I
Mm-hmm.
only sort of like
Yeah.
recently stopped. And God,
And
don't get
like
me
the
started on the
last
5-year
one.
journal. Yes, yeah.
Girl, I just bought one. I'm
I
so easily influenced and I can't stand it about myself,
hmm
but it's freaking Claire, man. I can't, I want
Yeah.
to be her so bad. No, I don't know. I think I'm gonna try it out. I got the Sterling ink one.
Oh,
And
that's
so,
cool.
right,
What
it's
size is it?
A5. I
Is it?
need I need space.
I do
I
too, and
can't
that's not
do
enough space. That's not
the
enough
A5.
space for
Okay,
me.
well, we're different.
I write like really
You
big.
do, yeah.
And yeah, I'm struggling with my 5-year and I don't want to be, and I hate that.
But
Like,
I think it's like the monotony of like the boring stuff that happened that day.
mhm.
But
But I like that. I like opening up and being like, oh,
yeah.
cool. This time last year, we had pizza for dinner and Elaine and I got in a
Yeah.
fight. And it's like, that's fun, like, and
Yes.
this is what the fight was about.
I
And
do
so
that
I like
too.
that. And so there's a part of me that's like, okay, you really need to go back in there and fill it all out because
Yeah.
you need to have it. So are you Sterling ink across the board?
No. Yes. So are we ready? Okay, so here's the thing.
Yeah, let me officially
Now
welcome
hold
everybody.
on.
Welcome to the podcast, everybody. We've got Dani
Welcome.
Cortez on today. Do you go by Dani or Danielle?
Danny's good, thanks.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
And I'm forcing her to tell me her whole life story.
I'm here
So
for it. Listen, I
tell
had a job
me,
interview yesterday and I felt like I was like, oh my God, am I showing too much personality? Dial it
oh,
back. Dial it
hey,
back.
story of my life. You get me anywhere in a room with somebody
It's
for longer
bad.
than 5 minutes, and I'm like,
I could tell
so
you
how's
all
your
about
relationship with your mom? I'm
literally.
like, I'm in
It's
there.
yeah, it's horrific. And I work in like at a university, so it's just like
Yeah, that's a
not
lot.
everyone, you don't need it's fine. And you know what? We're fine.
So
So
walk me through these journals. Yeah, tell me what you're using.
this year is a Sterling ink
Okay.
because, and the reason being is that, like I said, I started with LiveJournal, long form journaling, pictures, HTML, everything. I want to say from age 14 to maybe 22.
Yeah,
That's where I was on LiveJournal. It was a long chunk of my
that's a
life.
long time. I would pay big money to be able to get into
Oh,
mine these days.
no, I know I was a chronic deleter.
Were you?
I
I had
was.
mine private. I had a public facing one and a private
Yep.
facing one, and I
Oh
want to get in the
no.
private.
I would delete them and then make a new one and then change the
Mm,
username and then delete everything and then archive it. Very dramatic.
mm-hmm.
And then, Facebook happened and Twitter happened. And I say this as often as I can, which isn't very often, that Twitter ruined me.
Mm.
The
About
short,
the shortness.
the shortness, it
Mm-hmm.
ruined me because it's like I feel like I lost a skill
Mm-hmm.
of long form journaling. And one of the things that I loved so much about LiveJournal was that it was a community. I had my friends were reading me. I was writing for an audience.
Totally. Oh,
And
perfectly put.
I was writing for an audience and Twitter was that too, but we were limited to the
Mm.
characters. And then Tumblr became a whole other thing. It was like a scrapbook of all of the things that like, oof, I felt
Mm-hmm.
here with the
Mm-hmm.
combination of like the option to create your own content or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But Tumblr just felt so much more random strangers on the internet,
Totally. I could hide so
faceless,
much more on Tumblr.
faceless.
I was writing poetry on Tumblr.
I was writing poet girl, and I'm so glad that those files don't exist
Oh,
anymore.
same.
And LiveJournal was more people that I knew in real life.
Mm-hmm.
Fun fact, I met my husband on LiveJournal and then MySpace.
Yeah. I was gonna say some of my like
Yeah.
oldest like online friends are from
I
that
know her from
time.
she's my LiveJournal friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's
Great.
just like because it gave us the ability to be ourselves and to write as though we're writing in a diary, but with an audience. And so you felt like you were connecting with people who were reading and, leaving comments and stuff. And it's just, and
And
then
it's
we'd go to shows and then we see them and we're
right.
like, oh my God, I feel like I've known you for years, like,
It's cool to think that like I think there is an authenticity to that type of
It's a
creating,
vulnerability, you
of
know what I mean?
course, because like you can lie to yourself on your journal page all day,
Yeah.
but if you're putting it out for somebody that like actually kind of knows you,
Yeah.
you have to do a little bit more truth telling.
Yep.
And that's interesting because you don't always see that on the internet
Not
nowadays.
anymore, for sure. Not with like the monetization of content, not with the paid ads, not with the algorithm, not with the anonymity that comes with, the audience being so broad.
Yeah.
And like, I don't want to knock it. I've met some wonderful people on the internet, like with TikTok and, Instagram currently. Um, it's been a journey being
Mm,
on social media, especially like as a person who wants to share,
mm-hmm.
instead of being more private. I have always been a sharer,
Mm-hmm.
um, and it's certainly changed the way that we interact with the people on the internet. I just feel like LiveJournal was like it feels, when you walk the halls of your old school. That's what
Mm,
LiveJournal feels like to me. Just walking
yeah.
the halls of your old school, and it's like you feel so much. It's like, oh my God, it's so much smaller than I remember. But
Right,
it
exactly.
feels there's that nostalgia that feels like listening to the emo bands that we listened to in 2001. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like
right.
it's just
So how do you bring that vibe into your journal?
so with as life carried on, my habits changed. And you know, people started abandoning LiveJournal. We moved to Twitter, then people started moving to Tumblr, and then Tumblr got ads and people left in droves, and they started censoring content. And it was also like, okay, I'm married, we've moved out of South Texas, I have to be careful about what I put on the internet because younger groups of people are now on here, whereas before they wasn't. I was a public school teacher. These kids
Right,
found
right,
me.
right.
And so I had to go
Oof.
and find everything and lock it down or delete it. Um, and as time moved forward, like I just dropped the habit. It
Mm-hmm.
got harder. Like I was out of practice and I did
Mm-hmm.
not know how to create, how to write, it felt mundane. It felt like who cares? Because I wonder if it's because I lost an audience. And so like
Maybe.
the feeling of it dissipated. Um, and it kind of, I posted, a reel or a TikTok in January or maybe late December. And I was like, I have been journaling for 1 year. And so 2024 was the first
Mm.
year that I got a journal, and it was Natasha.
Oh
Natasha,
yeah?
she showed up on
I
my
love
feed.
that.
And I think it was because I had been reading a whole lot. And so I'm like looking at book content, and she showed up, and looking at her, the way that she journals it was mundane, but
Mm-hmm.
not in a hurtful
It's
way.
not a bad thing,
It's
totally.
not at all. It was like little things, and her
Mhm.
handwriting, I get FOMO with handwriting.
Mm.
I get FOMO
Hers
with
is
art.
so perfect.
Hers is perfect, but in an imperfect way. Like, remember when
Exactly.
we were on Pinterest and everything was calligraphy and just beautiful handwriting? And it's like, that could never be me. And so I kind of like,
Do you think? I've never thought, oh, your handwriting's bad.
well, I remember like no, 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 not handwriting. My handwriting is bad. Wait, what are you saying?
Yeah, I've never thought your handwriting's bad.
No, I have bad handwriting.
Do
Like,
you? I think I
people,
also have bad handwriting.
yeah, but yours is cool bad. And so like, and again, it kind of pulls back to this like alt, like,
Oh, sure.
when you think about like, oh, there's beauty
Yeah,
in
and
like the
mess.
the damaged or
There's
whatever.
beauty in the
Can you
breakdown.
tell? Can you tell that I was whatever? I was taking notes yesterday and I was going real, real, real fast at work, and I was like, "God, this is horrendous. Like this is never gonna get a
See, I
post
love
on its
that.
own. It's not gonna be, I'm not gonna post, you know what I mean?
Listen, my work notebook is the exact same.
Right. And then I remember it coming across Natasha's TikTok. I think she was setting up a book journal, and I saw her handwriting and I go, oh, that's not perfect. It's a little slanted. The
Hmm.
letters are kind of whatever, and it just satisfied that itch of the beauty and the imperfect, as trite
Hmm.
as it is, but
Hmm.
it called to me. And the stuff that she was writing or posting about was, the everyday little things. And I'm like, I want that.
Yeah.
I want that. I love everyday little things, the little tiny mistake, the happy accidents, right?
Hmm.
And so I just went online and I found 2024 journal, daily journal, and I got a moleskin. I can't tell you what, it's not A5, it's not B6,
Yeah,
not
that used
but-
to be my planner. Look at that thing.
and like I think I just surprised myself because I went in with no plans.
Yeah,
I went in with no vision. I went in blind without I mean,
like no
like on a wing, on
expectations.
no expectations, on a wing and a prayer. I
That's
had just
amazing.
maybe 2 months, November, December of like, finding Natasha, finding Claire, finding you, finding mostly Maddie. Oof,
Hmm.
her content too, because it's like another person with imperfect handwriting who's just here
Yeah,
to have fun. We're not
totally.
worried about perfection. We're not worried about things being aesthetically pleasing. No, we're just here to vibe, just vibes. That's all it is. And so I went in like with an idea of what I was going to track. Um, and so I would, create the thing. And then, as time went on, I got bored with some of the spreads that I don't, they're not spreads.
Yeah,
And so then I would like tape over it or put stickers over it. And I just didn't want to see it anymore.
yeah.
And so hang on, let's see if I can find
That's
something good.
so. For a second, walk me through this book. Is it the same as a Hobonichi where you've got like months, weeks, days?
No, I mean, yeah, it is. And I think I got this before I knew what a Hobonichi
Mm-hmm.
was. And I never got a Hobonichi. I bought like at the end of last year an Avec July through
Mm-hmm.
December A6 just so I could feel it.
Yeah, what do you think? Not for
It's
you?
not for me.
I love that. Tell me why.
I don't know. I think it's just I don't it's too much structure. And
Mm.
I don't like I like the data dailies, but I have data dailies in here and I didn't like it.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel like very beholden to those days?
I think I did, but now that I'm in the Sterling ink undated, I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, I wish there was something to hold me account. I don't know.
See, and that's the thing. Like, you cannot give me an undated book because then I will never
I'll
open it.
stop. So the tracking stuff then.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. I'm getting us so off track. So you started in the moleskin,
I started in the moleskin, and
and it was just everything. You're
there's a
tracking
bunch of
stuff.
pages in the front that includes like name, address,
Mm-hmm.
contacts, phone log, calendars for the next 3 years. And I'm like, what a
Wow.
waste of paper. I don't want any of this. And so it's like 1 month is on one page, and then another month is here. And you can see I'm keeping track of days that I finish a book,
Mm-hmm.
days that I don't spend money. I'm keeping track of my period, of keeping track of when I bone, like, and like events. So like my dog getting spayed, nail appointments and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like what happens when I finish 2 books in the same day and I bone and I have a nail appointment.
Exactly.
Ah, I'm overwhelmed.
That's a
I don't
great
like
day.
it. Yeah, it is. But also like I don't, it's too much and it started to look messy and I lost interest. And so I stopped doing it.
Mm, love that.
Um, and so then it's like, okay, well, if I'm not going to use this, what am I going to cover it up with? I don't know. And so then I get on my iPad and I have Procreate and I create, a canvas that's the same dimensions as this. And I just play around and make myself a hand-drawn something else with like hand-drawn elements. And then I print it out on sticky paper.
Oh my God,
And
that's
I
so
just
cute.
cover the entire page. So it looks like it's written in here, but I
Hmm.
used my iPad and it looks kind of cool. It reminds
It
me of
looks very cool.
it looks like those those old like teenage books that feel
Hmm.
like it's I don't
Like
know.
the Adventures of Amelia, or yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
What's the
yeah.
sticker paper you use?
Just whatever is on Amazon. Online papers, online, what is it? Online stickers. I used
Is that
to,
I don't know what that is. Is that a brand?
it's a brand. If you go to Amazon and it's, I know the
I
overlords.
I know.
I'm trying. I'm
I
trying.
know. I'm like I can't even get into it.
Yeah. Yeah, so the overlords though. But I would just go to I used to, well, I still have an Etsy shop where I sell digital portraits, which I don't know if you've
Oh
seen
yeah.
before.
I did,
Sometimes,
yeah.
yeah, I'll do digital portraits, prints, and stickers. And sometimes I'll be in the mood to sew some stuff.
Mm,
I used to do all kinds of stuff. Back, I was a different woman during the
mm.
pandemic, I was hustling. And so I just have a lot of leftover sticker paper. So I just print it on my regular home printer.
And that's how you do your book covers too, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do I have those close by? The
Oh my God.
the book tracking is an obsession. I can't
Is this from
stop.
this year?
No, this is from a couple years ago. I
And
saw a tutorial on TikTok.
is it foam on the inside?
No, it's wood.
Jesus. My Okay,
I'm not well.
my book club has been together for 10 years. Technically this year, but we're saying it's next year because of a couple of members.
Yeah.
And one of them sent I make them do the book ornaments every year for
Yep.
Christmas, and most of them hate it, but I'm like, you have to. Do you want to
Hold
grab
on.
those?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
I know, right? Yep.
And so I got like a little ornament stand so they can be on display all year
That's
long.
so cute. Yeah, one of them sent the like the shelf version of that
Mhm.
project to us to the group chat the other day, and they were like, I was obviously like, I want to do that, but I can't make you guys do that at Christmas. So maybe for our 10th year, we'll all pick like 20 books that we love from
Mhm.
10 years, and that will be on our shelves.
Yeah, it's bananas. It became an obsession. And like I'm the
I
type of
love it.
person that when I see someone do something, I'm like, I
Mm-hmm.
want to do that. I can make that.
Mm-hmm.
And it becomes a thing. And so yeah, I was using sticker paper, the leftover sticker paper for these book
So cute.
covers, for those book covers. And in the journal, I started with a Canon Ivy. You could see it's like
Mm-hmm.
kind of shiny.
I hate the way book covers look on Canon Ivies.
I do
I
too.
hate it.
And like no hate to the people that use them because I know
Of course,
a
because
lot of
it's
people use them.
convenient, but it's
And
also
no,
expensive.
it's not convenient. It's
Hey,
cute.
hey,
Is it
Danny said it, not
convenient?
me.
Is it convenient or is it cute?
Neither to me.
Anything in a miniature, I'm like, I have to
Mm,
have it. I want
mm,
it. I want the miniature. I want my trinkets.
I
I
get it.
want my trinkets and I want my mug and I want my water and I want my soda.
I get it.
Um, so I started with that and it was working fine, but the paper, I was printing too much. I read
It's
too
expensive.
fast. It's
Way too
expensive.
expensive.
And I was still trying to figure out with sizing. So this is like a full sheet.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is 4.
Like the
And
fours. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that came from mostly Maddie is
Mm-hmm.
where I saw it. She's wonderful. She's another vibes person where it's like I'm on a wing and a prayer and I'm doing
Mm,
what feels good. I started, like I said, I started doing this and I would start something and I would fall off and I would hate it. So I just cover it up with
mm,
something that I print and it became something new. And I'm okay with that. It's messy. There's no format. Like there's things that are stapled in.
sure.
I have horrific handwriting.
And are you pretty like straightforwardly a memory keeper, would you consider yourself?
I think it became that. I
Yeah.
didn't go in with the anticipation of it, plans of it happening, but I just would open it and just write what I want to write. And if I didn't
Mm,
have anything to write, I would go through my Instagram stories, see what I
mm-hmm.
posted that day, you know, go through my screenshots. And so here I went to a show up in Grand Rapids. Here if
Nice.
I saw this animal. This is a picture I took.
What is that
While
animal?
Let me tell you,
Okay.
while I was like at a stop sign
Yes,
or a
mom. Okay.
stoplight. No, like let me tell you, because it was a journey. And I was like, what the is that? What is that? And so I took a picture and I zoomed in and I posted it on Instagram and I'm like, what the is this? I'm not from the Midwest, y'all. Like, I'm not
Right.
from here. And my Instagram was very like, oh my God, it's a groundhog. It's a woodchuck. It's a
Oh,
groundhog. It's a woodchuck. Did you know that a woodchuck is a groundhog? That's
no.
what I found out. And
I don't think I knew that.
and
This
I
is groundbreaking information.
and so here I Googled, is a woodchuck a groundhog? And then I posted it to my Instagram stories, reacting like, what? It's a stupid thing to write about that day
Yeah.
because it was 5 minutes of my like, oh
Yeah,
my,
but
like,
it's funny.
and so like, sure, am I a memory keeper? Sometimes.
Yeah.
Then the next day I went to go see Alkaline Trio in Grand
Nice.
Rapids. And so I taped in my ticket with a couple of
Mm-hmm.
pictures and stuff and wrote
Love
about
that.
it. And, then a couple days later, I went to go see American football.
Oh, nice.
And,
Jealous.
we went to dinner and the restaurant had, this stuff and
Uh-huh.
snatched it up, taped it in and took some
Mm-hmm.
pictures. Or it's like pictures of my kids and we went to the beach, or it's, if I finished a book, I'm talking about the book, and this
Mm-hmm.
kind of is drew a lot of inspiration from Natasha.
Mm-hmm.
Um, one time I tried drawing a book cover, a la Amy Y'all.
How did it go?
It didn't go. I had to print out a sticker and
Yeah.
cover it.
I mean,
Like,
listen, sometimes they don't go very well for me either, I promise. But also, I like seeing that growth. I like
yeah,
pulling out, my first Hobonichi cousin and being like, damn,
yeah.
I had to start here so that I could get to where I am now.
But yeah, you're absolutely right. Because to see that growth, and I was like, that's why. There have been times where I'm just like, I'm gonna quit this. Like, I feel like
Mm-hmm.
it's starting to feel like labor, and I'm starting to
Mm-hmm.
feel everyone's posting their monthly wrap up.
Mm-hmm.
Am I gonna post my monthly wrap up? And I think like I fell off. At the end of the year, you get tired. I think we
Yeah.
all kind of like start to fall off toward the end
Mm-hmm.
of the year. Um,
Yeah,
and
I'm going through that right now with like, I don't really know how I want to exist with my journal
I don't
on the
know.
internet.
Yeah, because it's starting to get personal. I mean, not personal. It's starting to feel like labor. And as soon as a hobby feels like labor, the joy is gone,
Yeah,
you
and
know?
yeah, I mean, so much of my life is like work. So for more so for me, it's like when it starts to feel like someone thinks they're in competition with me, then it's no longer
Bingo.
fun.
Yeah,
And because I don't feel that way, I
right.
don't feel that way. So yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I get that. So yeah, I think it was at the end of the year, you start to feel like just fatigued from it. I
Mm,
hate recording. I
do you?
hate editing. I hate
Mm,
voiceovers, but I love engaging with a community.
yeah.
I love when people, man, sometimes I get comments, whether it's on the Facebook group or on Instagram or on TikTok, and people's like will say like, I never thought that I could be creative. I never thought that I could be a journaler. I never thought that whatever, but Dani, you know, what does she say? She's like, it's so imperfectly perfect.
Mm,
And it
I
made
love
me
that.
it made me feel like I could do the thing, and then they have joy from it. And I'm just like, me?
It's it's
You
addicting. It's
it
like
is.
I think and that's why I don't have time to do this podcast, but I wanted it to happen and it feels so good to be in this
It
space where it's
does.
just like we're all just girls excited about the thing that we made.
Excited
Like,
about this paper and these
yes, we
markers.
just want to flip through it together and be like,
We-
look at this. Oh, you did that. Oh my God. And I
And
just think that's so fun.
it is. It's like it's just another form of human connection.
Mm-hmm.
Just with our silly little hobbies while the
Mm-hmm.
world is on fire. And it's just like, you know
Absolutely.
what? I will take it.
Yep.
So
Yep.
this year I switched over to Sterling ink because I loved the minimalism, which
Mm-hmm.
allows for me to kind of do what I want, which is so funny because I feel like because there was so much structure in this that I had to force solutions that I didn't
Um,
have. And so
Interesting.
this
Can you
feels,
give me an example of that?
yeah. So an example, let's pull up a page. Oh, this doesn't have weeklies.
Mm-hmm.
It's just monthly on a one page and then dailies on one page. And I started seeing people post weeklies, and I said, that looks like fun. Oh my God, you can just see the whole week. Beautiful. But this didn't have weeklies. And I started to get FOMO.
Mm,
So I opened up Procreate and created a template of vertical weeklies. And I
love it.
printed it out on sticker paper, smacked it into daily pages that I was like, get whatever, I don't care. And filled it out just to test it out to see if it was something that I liked that would,
And what do you think?
I love it. But however, here's the big caveat is that this thing that I bought, I was like, okay, next year I'm going to buy something that has vertical weeklies because I really enjoy it. But now the
Mm-hmm.
weeklies in here already exist and I don't need to create it, meaning I'm not forced to be creative.
Of course. You're also not experimenting because you're
I'm
like,
not
yeah.
experimenting. And so it's like, do I enjoy the minimalist thing here that
Oof.
I can customize? I
Yeah.
do. I do
Yeah.
that like that it's very minimalist and I can turn it into whatever I want to turn it into. But this one I created from scratch.
I know. So what, okay, I am allergic to my weeklies. Allergic.
I know.
Because I don't, I
And
keep a
I,
right, I keep a different planner for the
yes, you
rest of
do.
my
And
real,
I fucking love your weeklies. I
I,
hate that I pause and zoom in. I
oh,
go,
in my
what is
happy
she do?
planner?
No, in
Oh,
your
oh, on the other one?
last year's.
I know. And see, and okay. Yes. And thank you for saying that. And that's why I'm having trouble with the 5 year because
Yeah.
I want to do that in my Hobonichi cousin,
Mhm.
but I also am allergic to repeating myself.
Yep.
So I can't do both. So
Yep.
I don't know. I do miss it. I do like having this just like every page is an opportunity
Mhm.
to turn it into something else.
Yeah. I really like in when you would do your monthly flip throughs. I think you did it on TikTok for a few months and then you migrated over
I'm really
to
not good at TikTok.
no
I mean,
no
maybe.
no
I'm
one
sure I put
is.
something there.
You did. It was like you posted it and then you disappear. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like it wasn't
that's
a,
sounds about right.
but I remember like seeing that every week was different.
Yeah.
Of your vertical weeklies. You would
Hmm.
try something different and I was like, that's such a good idea to like switch things up every
Mm.
week because
Yeah, I just get bored.
it's forcing you to be creative.
That's such a great way to put that.
And like, look, this is the one that I created myself, and then this is it already made.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I like this
I know it is
more.
different.
It feels fun. And it's just like I'm trying to make this feel like this because looking back, and so I'm like, okay, some days I'll do an outfit of the day, and some days I
That's so
won't,
cute.
you
Hmm.
know, and it's like maybe I don't want to do this like a dated daily. And so in the Sterling ink, you can write as much or as little as you want. So like sometimes I'll do like 3 days,
Hmm.
or some days I'll one day will be, 5 pages because I have a lot of feelings that day.
Oh,
And
sure.
I
Yeah,
really,
Natasha was mentioning that you
yeah,
can like really just do whatever you want. And
yeah.
again, I don't work well with that, but you do like that question mark?
I do like it. Yes, I do because some days I have nothing to say and other days I don't. I do have a lot to say. And I like having that freedom, however,
Hmm.
um, this very rigid daily structure that like lacks a weekly view, forced me to kind of think outside the box, which
Sure.
then the result looked more piecemeal, looked more patchy, looked
Hmm.
more DIY.
Hmm.
And like as a former like
Yeah.
emo, which is
Yep.
a very, DIY community,
Of course.
it felt like home. Like I
Yeah.
made this with my own two hands.
And I also like dated for that reason because then it
Mhm.
forces me to pull something from that day that is
Yeah.
like, and sometimes it's, yeah, a portrait of like a real housewife. And other days it's like a meme that I liked on Instagram. But I
Yep.
can
And that's
usually be
fine.
like, yeah, I can usually be like, I had a really good cup of coffee this morning that Elaine
Yeah.
made for me. And that's
Ooh,
enough.
I love seeing other people's posts like that, where
Hmm.
I'm just like, God, I need to take more pictures
I
of
know.
the stupid shit that I do every day because it's cute. It's a moment,
There you
memory.
go. Yeah.
And I know that Sterling Ink does a dated daily,
Hmm.
but I use a lot of blank pages between months for tracking. I have like crazy
Yeah.
tracking.
Okay. Can we get into the tracking?
I
I
and I can tell you
love,
who exactly inspired me.
oh, tell me.
Oof, is it Dia? Her name is Dia. Let me find it.
While you find it, I want
Yeah,
to talk
got
about
it.
this a little bit. So,
Mhm.
I love you people that track. I think it's so cool. I think it's so interesting. A big part of the reason why I journal is because I want to remember all of this stuff
Mhm.
because COVID has like wiped out my short-term and honestly long-term memory. Like, I just can't remember a single thing,
Yeah.
but I'm so bad at it.
Yeah.
So who were you inspired by? That's my first question.
So it started for tracking specifically, like crazy fucking tracking where it's a whole page of
Yeah.
all the shit that I track
Yeah.
in a month, for
Do you
31 days.
only read Kindle on your phone?
I bought a Kindle because I had FOMO,
Yeah.
but I don't like multiple devices. I get anxious. I have the
Okay.
iPad, my
Mm-hmm.
phone, the Kindle, the
Mm-hmm.
journal, the other journal.
Because I saw you tracking your Kindle time,
I
and I was
did.
like, I want that, but my Kindle
You-
doesn't
Yeah, so
obviously doesn't do
I
that.
had someone ask me that too. The Kindle tracks the whatever. I said no.
Screen time.
So
I know
sorry.
you really pissed me
Screen
off with
time.
that.
You know what? I'm okay with that because a lot of things you do piss me off too. Like that. I want to go
That's
read
my
a bar. God damn
that's
it.
my favorite compliment. Yeah.
Thank you. No, I appreciate that. I really do appreciate that because I'm a sucker for stats, man. You should.
Hmm.
Oh, I don't even know if I have time to show you my spreadsheets.
You can send me a screenshot. That's insane. You can
Yeah,
send me a
I
screenshot.
have uh, I sell I started selling a lot of like digital products for productivity, but
Mm,
also for teaching during
mm,
the pandemic.
mm.
So my TikTok kind of grew. I think I'm around 40,000 followers, but it was because of
Wow.
I was on teacher TikTok during a pandemic and we were all fighting for our lives.
I can't
We were
imagine.
fighting for our lives. And so like now engagement is at an all-time low, but that's because
Sure.
I'm not trying to sell anything.
Hmm.
And so I am a spreadsheet girly through and through. I have been using a spreadsheet that I DIY'd to track my finances.
Mm.
Um, for since about maybe 2018.
Wow.
So where I log every single transaction
Every day.
every day.
Every day you sit down
I'm
and do it.
addicted. It
So
gets me high.
that's kind of my big question is like everyone that's keeping track of these insane trackers, how, are you dedicating time every day to do it?
Monday through Friday. On
Okay.
weekends, nothing is real. Time isn't real. Money's not real on the
No.
weekend. But I think it's because I have the kind of job where I have to clock in and
Mm,
sit at my desk. And
mm,
I do keep my personal journal next to me just to jot down notes or whatever. I
sure.
also have a work notebook. And I want to say that you validated me a whole lot because I was already using the paperage notebooks
Thank
for
you.
for work, and I was doing like all black because I wanted everything to match.
Same. I used to do that too.
I wanted everything to
Hmm.
look exactly the same. And
Hmm.
I saw a post that you made about your paperage notebooks, and they were all beautiful colors. And you put the dates, and
Hmm.
it didn't matter if it ended in the middle of the month.
Yeah, I know.
And I'm just
And
like,
I'm like now every month or it's usually like 6 months for me. I get to I'm like,
"Mhm,
okay, what is the next 6 months?
what's
What
the
color
next
is it gonna be?
color?
And
Is
it's
it gonna
so
match the
fun.
season?"
Oh,
And then
I've
you
never thought
started,
about that.
yeah, and so, yeah. So this is my winter one. I'm about almost
Love that.
done. The next one that I have on deck, and the previous one was October, so it was kind of fall. So it
Hmm.
was like September, October, November. This one started in December, and then you started putting stickers on them, and I was like, work journals can be cute.
I also had for years had no idea they could be cute and have
You
more than
change.
one sticker.
Oh my God, like, am I excited to use my work notebook where I just put down, and then again, like Natasha with her headers.
I know I love her. I get a lot of inspiration from for headers from her. Yeah.
Are you kidding me? This is Banana
Hmm.
Pants. And so it's just this little community. I have found so much joy in just the mundane.
Same.
You know what I mean? So I do have a job where I sit down in front of a computer at 8 a.m., and
Hmm.
I'm there. I'm making my coffee. There's the
Hmm.
routine, there's a ritual that feels very, you know. And so I do Monday through Friday, I'll track because it's there.
Yeah.
And I want to know that if I'm waking up by 8, I want to know
Hmm.
if I took my morning meds. I want to get it's like a sticker chart. And
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
each little track is a sticker chart. And let me tell you, like the former GT high achieving
Mm,
teacher's pet that just loves to see all of the stars for the week, it gets me high. It
yeah,
does.
I get that.
Um,
Can you give us an idea of what you are tracking? You don't have to read
yeah,
everything, but like what
I
maybe like
will.
what are some favorite things that yeah, that's true.
You can know. I like sleeping in late.
Hmm.
I have two kids and I will still sleep until 11.
No, I love that. I love to hear that.
Yeah.
People make sleeping late such a like lazy
Lazy.
thing.
It's a lazy
I
thing.
hate
I hate it.
that.
And I think it's just like as a teacher or former
Hmm.
educator, I have a lot of teacher trauma.
Hmm.
Could not sleep in. So up by
Hmm.
8, morning meds, a morning tidy.
Hmm.
A morning tidy sets the tone for the day because when I
Yeah.
come home from work and I'm exhausted, if there are no dishes in the sink,
Hmm.
you
It's the
know,
best.
oof. Listening to NPR, NPR has like that 15-minute
Hmm.
thing, and just to know that only one cup of coffee a day.
Oh,
If I
Lord.
packed my lunch, oh yes, 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 yes. If I packed a lunch, because I want a treat, if I pack
Hmm.
my, I- I deserve it. I deserve a special
Of
treat if I pack
course.
my lunch.
Of course.
Clearing my inbox, don't ambi. I
Oof.
I know. I get hated on a lot for that, but
For what do you mean? Tell me.
for clearing my inbox being a goal to work toward.
Oh, I'm
Every day I need to clear it.
yeah. I'm not every day, but for me, if it gets over 100, and that's for 3 emails. I have like
Yeah.
personal and then 2 work
Yeah.
ones.
Mhm.
If it gets near 100, I start to have a little bit of a
A
panic
panic
attack.
attack, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm right there with you.
I cannot have unread emails unless it's like today I took a day, so whatever. Called home. I live 1,000 miles away from my
Mm,
family, so I
mm,
get a little tick if I called home. Reading every day, journaling every day, drawing every day, posting on any of the accounts, right? Uh, Taking a selfie because I used to be a selfie queen, and over the
mm,
last few years that's dropped off. And it's like, wait a minute, there's that self-love. Like
mm,
that feels good to take a selfie
mm,
and look back on it. And there's joy in that. Tracking expenses. I
mm.
tracking my expenses. And no spend, kid activities, cooking dinner. I get a star if I cook dinner.
Of course.
If kids are asleep by 9, hair wash days,
Mm,
flossing, drinking the right number of ounces of water. If I listen to my audiobook, and then the amount of time that I spend reading my Kindle app.
hmm.
Sometimes I do cheat and I'm reading on my web browser,
Sure.
um, or if I'm on AO3 reading fan fiction.
Yeah, one of my booktube girlies uses
Mhm.
some app and she like literally within the app starts a timer when she starts reading. I wish I
Yep.
could remember.
Oh no, I will just open it up like this and set it
Hmm.
down,
Oh, sure, to
and
count. Oh,
mhm.
that's smart. Oh, sure. Okay. Yeah, that makes
Or
sense.
smart or maniacal. Like it's
I
too
mean,
much.
I get it. I get it. So these aren't necessarily they're not daily goals. Like you're not washing your hair every day.
No, I
Right. So
just want
you're
to see
just
it.
you want a snapshot of your life
I want to
essentially.
see it. Yeah. I'm not striving to do everything every day.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to be able to look back and be like, oh yeah, I didn't floss my teeth for 2 fucking weeks.
Right, right.
That's funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
or it's
Oh,
like, yeah. Or I could see that I have read every single day this year. I had a crazy streak going on my Kindle app where I opened it every day for, I want to say maybe 3 years. It
mm-hmm.
was chaos. And then I got COVID.
Oh,
I
see,
lost my
I'm
streak.
worried about that. My Kindle streak is very important to me.
It's so important. I had a whole meltdown and I posted,
You you know you could, I mean it's too late now, but you could have fixed it.
what?
Yeah, you can, because trust me, one day I was traveling and it didn't count. I like wasn't on Wi-Fi, and so they were like, "Yeah, you didn't
No, if
read."
you open it and if it's on airplane mode, but you still open it, it,
Yeah, but if you've missed it on that day, then you go airplane mode, you change the date and time on your phone. Hello, psycho. And then you go and you read a few pages as if you were in the past. And then when you when you bring it back to normal,
I wish that you did not tell me this
I
because
know.
I
Trust
might,
me, I was Googling like fix my Kindle streak and Reddit
fuck,
obviously brought me to that answer.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
But you know what? I support it.
Yeah. It means a
Yeah.
lot to me for
It means
sure.
a lot to me for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
So what would you say like the layout of your Sterling ink is? Like, is
Oh
there a
yeah.
layout? Is there structure?
Yeah, absolutely. There is structure, and just because I thrive off of that. So the
Mm,
first page is like the yearly overview where I keep track of my cycle.
mm-hmm.
And then these are two blank pages that Sterling Ink has,
Mm,
and I just want to do tiny, wonderful things.
that's nice.
I did that. I did a review like post 2024, where I used my 24 journal to kind of guide me, and I just wrote
Oh,
down
nice.
all of like the joy. It was the end of the year, November. The election had just happened,
Mm,
and so I'm just like, what are some cool things? And it's just like, I got my septum pierced. My daughter did a spelling bee. We went to San Antonio for my brother's graduate. Just a list of like simple things that brought
yeah,
me joy throughout the entire year. And so at the beginning of 2025, I was like, I'm going to do this as I go. And yeah, I've been
that's
able to
smart.
put some cool things. My husband's vasectomy is on it from this morning. So happy. Um, Sterling Ink also has like a goals page where it's like a place for maybe 5 or 6 goals, and then a timeline like weekly, monthly,
Mm,
6 months from now, a year from now for like the vision or whatever. And I just put tape over it and I just
mm-hmm.
put things I want to do this year.
Yeah, Yeah.
And it may be as simple as pay off my Wells Fargo credit card or, go to the dentist or finish my 2018 picture book.
Mm.
And just as I complete the things, I fill it in with a different color. And so hopefully by the end of the year,
That's cute.
they'll,
Oh, I see. That's
yeah,
so cute.
thank you. And it's like read 25 books, read
Mm-hmm.
50 books, read 7,
Right.
whatever the goal is.
Yeah, I like that it like it builds off. Like it's not
Yeah,
just being like,
there's
because it can be
room.
really unsatisfying to be like read 100 books and then you don't get to scratch
No.
off until the end.
Right. Yeah, no. And I think I have something that are like read 25 nonfiction,
Mm-hmm.
read, there's just little small goals that I want to see. But it lacks the structure that the Sterling ink had already
Mm-hmm.
dictated for me.
Yeah.
And I was like, I love this for other people, but I can't do that.
Yeah, I get that.
Um, what is this called? Where it's like a daily.
I call it a year
You
at a
you
glance,
you
but
use your workouts, and I
yeah.
love, but I do my daily spending.
Oh, that's
Because and I think
nice.
it's just because the reason why I'm so motivated to track my spending every day is because it is my goal.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it matters enough to you, then you
Mm-hmm.
will track it. And I can assume that like your workouts and
Mm-hmm.
all that stuff, like that is your favorite thing to track and it matters to you. And I can
Yeah.
assume that other people who track different things, whether it's their steps or their Wordle or,
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
it's fun. And so for me, my goal is finance. We have 2 kids, we're living across the country. Um, and so I'm keeping track of our daily spending that is not a bill, not
Mm,
gas, not groceries, not maintenance, not necessary. So
sure.
this is superfluous spending that may
Oh,
be luxury.
that hurts my
It
feelings.
does. And you know what? And that's what matters to me. I started following the Budget Mom on
Mm,
Instagram
I don't know her.
2018. She was a single mom who had a lot of debt and had some medical debt because she had an accident and just found herself with a mountain of debt and
Mm,
just kind of walked us through her journey. And so every day she would say, I spent this much at the grocery store. This was my budget. I have sinking funds. And it was just a really attainable. I was watching someone pay off their debt live.
mhm. And that is so inspiring.
Oh
And
my
that's why I
God.
think we all want that. Like
Yeah.
Natasha put out a spending guide basically, and I was like,
Mhm.
I thought it was so helpful because I don't have a brain that works like that.
Right.
Like I can, especially running a business, it's
Yeah.
very different. Like
It's
I
different.
could never have a no spend day running a business, my
Right. No,
God. But
but you have to count like, and so what that was a problem the last couple years too, is like we can't do no spend days. Like
hmm
things come up. We got kids, we got
hmm
whatever. And so it's just like, no, I can categorize it. So it's like,
hmm
I know that I'm going to spend on essentials and I
right,
know that. And so I'm not going to count that. So I'm
right.
counting, I figured like a way that makes this more like that's not so discouraging is to have a no spend day, even if I went to the grocery store to get, eggs, bread, milk, or whatever, but I
hmm
didn't spend anything else,
right.
I'm going to count it as a
That
no spend
counts.
day
Totally.
because those were essentials. And so I see that and it is encouraging and I don't feel like such a failure.
hmm
And so I was like, you know what
Absolutely.
would be cool? I want to see it on one page, simple. My
I like that.
spreadsheet to track my finances probably has 20 sheets
Mm,
because I'm doing a lot. It's a lot. But this, when you see, consecutive no spend days, it feels satisfying and isn't
totally.
so discouraging. Then we get into the quarterlies, and I've gotten a lot of like positive feedback on this. Here
So
it,
I've seen this, but I don't quite know what I'm looking at.
yep. And so it's a quarterly page. There's four that like this is
Uh-huh.
quarter 1, and then
Uh-huh.
you flip quarter 2. And
Mm-hmm.
here it says priorities, January, February, March.
Mm,
January, February, March. And I've
mm,
seen people put a dot all the way down for
mm-hmm.
dates that they went on a walk or
Mm-hmm.
birthdays, important dates, whatever. And it's just like, I don't want to be limited to only tracking 10 things because
Sure.
there's 10 boxes. I see people put like prayer, like there's
Mm-hmm.
lots of different ways to use this. And after much agonizing, which is so funny to agonize for weeks
No,
over
yeah, preaching to the choir.
who am I? I was like, you know what? This is a month and I can see how long it takes me to get through a book.
Oh, okay.
So this is duration
Mm-hmm. And that's
and
a day. So that's
yep.
10 days or something.
Yep. So you can see book number 4 took me whatever days this was, and this
Mm-hmm.
is the date. And then I just put the title up here vertically,
Mm-hmm.
and this just tells me like what books I was reading as the month goes on.
That's cool.
And then here's February, and then
See,
March,
this
and
is
then I just
like,
put the mini book covers over here.
this is so math to me. And I'm like, in the second something turns math, then I just shut
You
down
shut
and start
down.
crying. Yeah.
Says the business owner, right?
I mean, you try, hey, trust me. It, there's crying, trust me.
Oh yeah.
So I think that's really interesting.
But I'm
And
motivated by the math,
of
you know.
course. And it's still visual. Like
Hmm.
I would just be scared that I would like mess that up
Yeah,
and then have to
or give
burn the
up.
book.
Because I did it
Yeah.
over here. I tried it doing it 10 different ways
Mm,
and it didn't work and I didn't like it and it wasn't satisfying and I changed it. And so I was
yeah.
like, you know what? This might be cool. People will like write vertical like
Mm-hmm.
so and so's birthday,
Mm-hmm.
doctor appointment,
Right. Yeah. And I
whatever.
don't care about that.
I don't care
Yeah.
about people's birthdays.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Um, and so then there's quarter 2, quarter 3. Um, then you know how some of the journals will do the monthlies and it starts with December.
Mm-hmm.
I covered it up because I didn't like it. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
want it. I don't care about December. And so I
Same.
just put all of like I did months
Oh, that's
and then
cute.
wrote books that I'm looking forward to coming out. So 2025 releases.
I have the same pipsticks.
Oh, this was a gift from Claire.
Oh, cute.
Claire did a sticker giveaway.
Oh,
She was
cute.
doing a D-stash.
Uh-huh.
And I guess I was the first to respond, or
Oh,
maybe one
that's
of the
so
first.
cute.
So I got, a handwritten thing in the
Oh,
mail, and I actually have the
of
actual thing in
course.
here.
Claire's the best.
She really is. And so just keeping track of the books that I'm looking forward to coming out, and I'll color it a different color when I read it, and it
Mm,
looks colorful and pretty, and it's a list.
there you go.
Yep. And then a page a day or a picture a day.
So is this what you do across all monthlies, picture a day?
This is my first time doing it.
Mm,
And so we're in March and I did it consistently for 2 months.
mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
then here along the edge, I'll have actual birthdays. You know, I,
Guess you do care.
I guess I do care, right? And yeah, just if it's a screenshot or a selfie or my food or my dog or
Mm,
my kids or whatever. This is inspired by Natasha.
mm-hmm.
Um, and I have a template in Google Slides.
Mm,
So a lot of people use Canva, a lot of
mm-hmm.
people use Procreate. I use Google Slides because I can just log in from anywhere, iPad,
Yeah,
phone, computer, and I will do like an autofill and maybe I'll get like a text box going.
that's so cute. I'm
It's
doing
cute.
that. I'm gonna do that for April, I believe.
Yeah. And then like if I forget to do it, I'll like write down the description of
Mm,
which picture I want to put in, and then
mm-hmm.
I don't print until I have enough, right?
Sure.
And then it just helps me autofill really, really quickly. Yeah.
I think that's something that maybe not everybody realizes they can do is like you can,
Create a template.
yeah, and you can also like write
Oh,
notes in your journal. Like I'm
yep.
big on if I'm sitting down to
Post-its.
back journal, I'll do post-its or I'll just write directly
Mm.
on the page these days where
Yeah.
I'm just like this was that. And then I
In
don't know,
pencil.
9 times out of 10 I'll come back and be like, "Oh, I don't actually want to do that anymore." And I'll just
Yeah.
erase it, no big deal.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Didn't use a pencil for a long time. Just because I don't know why I didn't. Just pencils seem very childish to me.
yeah.
And then when I started journaling, I was like, I need to fucking carry a pencil, man. Like, I need
Hmm.
to. And then, oh my God, now I don't leave the house without a pencil. I was like,
Yeah,
why was I so? It's fine. I
you'll
think it's just
see
like,
if whenever you watch Kristen's episode,
yeah.
Slacker, it just came
Ah,
out today. It's fine.
can I live?
That no, Kristen will plan her whole like page on
Yeah.
a piece of paper, and I think that's so
She's a beast, man.
smart. Like,
I've
and
seen you do that too.
I will, especially my work notebook, but I'm so behind on so much. Like, I feel
Yeah,
like,
it's a lot of labor.
yeah, it is.
Yeah, there's no shame in quitting if you don't like it. Oh, the high that I get from quitting something.
Yeah. Oh, not me. I don't know what
Ugh.
that's like.
No, you have to let go. Oh, that's I tell my coworkers, I work at a Catholic school. I tell my let go and let God.
Yeah. Hey. You got to.
I'm not
Oh, I mean,
religious,
yes,
but
of
I just
course.
love like, but I love
Listen, I'm
the
from the deep
idea.
south. Like I have let go and let God a lot.
Yeah. And I think it's so funny because we watched Jersey Shore and like
Mm,
Vinny tattooed let go, let God. And all the people were like, what does that even mean? And I'm like, it's Jesus take the wheel is what it
of
is.
course.
Come
Oh my
on.
God. Are you
Um,
always journaling at a desk, by the way?
no, I never journal at a desk except if I'm at work.
Uh,
And even then it's just real quick, like check boxes or
so where are
whatever
you on the
on my
couch?
sofa.
This
Not this
sofa?
one. Mm-mm.
Okay. I say it looks small.
This is like a formal dining turned office space.
Nice.
Um, we have big windows here too, but in our
Mm-hmm.
living room, we have a giant sectional and I'm in the corner. We call it Mommy's Corner.
That's
And my
so
kids are
nice.
constantly fighting over it. And I have like my pouch and
Mm-hmm.
my husband got me a lap desk for
Mm-hmm.
Christmas and a heated blanket for my birthday and then
Oh
like
my
a little USB like lamp that looks like it's an old school lamp. And I go, my husband knows that I am all about vibes, like
Mm-hmm. That's
cozy. Yeah.
so cute.
Um, the so as we know, these journals tend to start with a monthly for December, then the
Mm-hmm.
12 months, and then a January. And I was like, I'm not going to let this one go to waste. And so I'm keeping track of my conflicts.
Uh, and
She loves a
resolutions or
list.
just
Nope.
conflicts?
Nope. I want to
That's
know why we're fighting
so
in
funny.
one sentence. Why are we fighting? And I want to say it's
I
been pretty good. Like we're
I'm now that I know this, I'm gonna start a fake beef with you just to make it onto the conflict list.
it reminds me of Ryan
Uh-huh,
from The
uh-huh,
Office, just
uh-huh.
keeping a list.
That is
Um,
so funny.
I just love lists, man. There's this one page that I do want to show you from last year. I have to find it. I was so filled with rage that day. I was like, I'm fucking mad and I am going to write about it. But it was like I typed it out because when you
Oh,
get
sure,
out the big
yeah.
girl
Uh-huh,
computer,
uh-huh. You
it's
know it's bad.
it's bad and I just had to get it out. And so I opened up a Google document or whatever and I typed everything I wanted to type. And then as I like looked at it, I was like, man, I'm a bitch, man. And I was like, I can turn this into a memory, but I didn't want the negativity of it
Hmm.
to stay in my journal because then I would
Sure.
go back and feel perhaps shame, perhaps regret, perhaps something. So I took the text and I created two text boxes and I layered them over each other so that it
Love
looked like
that.
some like Zodiac killer,
Uh-huh.
whatever. God, I can't find it. It was a
Yeah, I
it
like
was
to
a
take
fight
my
with it.
journal and I'll either turn it sideways or turn it upside down and then
I've seen
write.
that too.
And it's like it makes it a little, the barrier to entry is a little bit harder to
Yeah,
read.
I can't find it in here. But
Well,
girl,
whenever you
I
do
would.
find it, I am gonna
Yeah,
ask you for pictures. Yeah, so
I'll send you a picture of
I know
it.
I can
But
never find the page I want when I'm looking for it.
I know I should
So
have
annoying.
prepared. But and so I layered the text over each other so that the text lined up and it was two sentences on top of each other and it looks chaos and it
I love
exists
it.
and it's a memory and I know that we fought that day. Couldn't
Hmm.
tell you what we fought about.
Really, I can
Well,
usually remember even even if the writing is like jumbled and chaos. I'm like, oh, I know exactly what that was.
listen, that is so funny. You're like,
I forgive, I don't forget.
I know exactly what you did that to me that day.
Hmm.
So funny.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I thought that was like, you know what, it exists, but
Yeah,
I can't remember what it was, and it ends up looking kind of artsy,
yeah,
and
of
I
course.
like that. Then we get into our weeklies. Our weeklies are my verbs.
Mm,
What am I doing? What am I
mm-hmm.
eating? What am I watching?
Mm-hmm.
What am I buying? What are the kids doing? It's active verbs that if I'll, fill for the future if there's an appointment. So like here, this is the future. Well,
Mm, sure.
this is today. Um, and then as I go, I'll fill it in,
Mm-hmm.
or sometimes I'll back journal. I keep track of the number of hours that I sleep. Here are my chores. You can see I've done not a fucking thing. Today's Friday. I haven't done a
Yeah,
single
you might
chore.
want to pop on that.
Mm, you're not my real dad.
Yeah.
Um,
Not
yeah,
yet.
not yet. Yeah, we'll see how this phone call goes. So it does end up feeling good as
Yeah,
I do
totally.
some chores. And here's some daily things that need to happen. This is the stuff that needs to happen once a week.
Mm-hmm.
This is the stuff that needs to happen every day. And I have an Etsy shop, so sometimes I'll keep track of my orders. And then
Mm.
I'll do print little mini book covers,
Yeah, that's cute.
put it in my weeklies as well. We keep track of what we're watching.
And sorry, do you go somewhere for work or do you work from home?
I go somewhere from work.
Okay, so I was gonna ask if this were just like open on your desk,
Yeah, it is. I
but you're
don't care.
taking it with you, right?
I'm
Like
taking
you're
it with me.
yeah.
I have a backpack because I'm a
Yeah.
pack rat.
Yeah,
And
same.
it's out. Sometimes it's like this. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
it's, I have the Moterm case or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't care. People come and ask me questions and I'm I like to chat. So
Mm-hmm.
let me tell you about my journal.
I'm the
Like,
same way.
yeah. It's like, let me talk to you about Jesus Christ. No, let me talk to you about the journal. Um, but yeah, and so those are the weeklies. And I'll again, like spring break is coming up. So I have
Mm-hmm.
that just up there. And sometimes I'll take off labels for the food that I eat, stick it in my
Mm-hmm.
weeklies. And I want them to look junk journally,
Yeah. Like lived in. I know. I have to get
patchy.
past it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think once you stop caring, the the easier it gets.
Completely.
Yeah. And then I have my like annual trackers. This is a master cleaning tracker of these are
Oh
the
wow.
chores that need to take place weekly, bi-weekly, and then I have week A, week B, monthly, quarterly, biannual, annual.
Oh my
And
God.
then across the top, I have January and then the Monday, whatever date the Monday is, all the way through December. And then if I do the chore, I get to color. Listen, tracking. mm,
Uh
Can you tell that I grew up with such instability in my childhood? Like, I went to 10 different schools before I graduated high school.
Oh
I lived
God.
with this parent and then that parent and then this
Mm-hmm.
aunt and then that grandma. There was no stability.
Mm.
There was nothing predictable about my childhood, and now I thrive
I
off
see
of.
that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even know where to begin. Okay, well, obviously this is right up my alley.
Yeah. So January, February. I need to print out the March.
I love that.
Yeah, just
I the re shocked that I've never thought just to print out my manicures. I'm drawing them
you are. I
every month
love
like a
you.
dum dum.
And I tried drawing my nails once and I didn't like it because I was inspired by Amy and I didn't like it, so I
Well, now
changed
I'm
it.
like, maybe I'll also just add a picture of my nails somewhere because I do really like need to see them sometimes.
And all on one page. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, look how hot I am.
I know. Look how
Oh
much
my
money I've
God. Look,
spent.
I know.
I keep their lights on. Sometimes when my
Yeah.
appointment runs late, I'm like, what are you guys doing? I'm here.
So these are my iPhone backgrounds. Every
So
month I'll change
cute.
it to like match the theme of the month.
That's
So
very
January,
cute.
February, and March. And my kids will usually like pick out the emojis for the month and I'll just
Mm-hmm.
take a screenshot and print it.
That's really sweet.
That's fun.
And
Um,
these are just regular pages, right?
just
Like now you're
blanks.
into the blank
Yep,
pages.
just the
Yeah.
blank pages. And so that's why I was initially drawn to this.
Mm-hmm.
Some podcasts that I listen to, the fanfics that I read, and what I thought of them.
So, okay, I got into this a little bit with Kristen, where I'm like, I was really inspired by her, and then obviously Rachel of All Rad Reads, she does this,
Oh,
where
and that's where a
like,
lot of this came from.
right, but are
Mhm.
you deciding all of that in like December, January, or are you just like as it comes up,
As it
being like,
comes.
okay, and see, I
I
needed
think I set us,
permission.
yep, I think I set aside 30 blank pages.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Just 30 blank pages for where the blank pages started. Here.
Mm-hmm.
And I taped them off. So I used just washi on the
Mm-hmm.
borders just so that they were, because I knew I was going to be going back to them pretty frequently throughout the
Mm-hmm.
year, and I wanted to kind of give them a sturdiness to it so that the pages wouldn't tear.
Yeah.
Um, and then as I had an idea, so I can go through them. So the cleaning schedule, nails, friend hangs, and I write down when I hang out with my friends,
Mm-hmm.
wish list, and I'll take pictures and
That's how you know you really want it.
that keeps me accountable because it's like, do I
Totally.
still want it a month later?
Mm-hmm.
Or
Mm-hmm.
was that an impulse?
Right.
Delayed gratification is a definition of maturity.
Mm.
iPhone back, you're like, no, ma'am.
No,
iPhone
I
back,
agree. But
iPhone
sometimes
back.
my gratitude is way, way delayed, so I need to work on that.
Oh, yeah. And so then I'm keeping track of the things that I treat myself with. So the things that I
Oh.
do end up purchasing
Mm-hmm.
and whether it was like a win or not. Phone calls and FaceTimes. Again, I have lots of long distance besties and family members and stuff. I'm keeping it. So this was all the rad reads, anxious
Mm-hmm.
spiral log, cry
Mm.
log. Like, how often do I throw myself into an anxious spiral?
I do that too often to write it down.
And then I'm putting the Y.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say it out loud.
Yeah.
A cry log.
I'm like, close my eyes, remembered my parents will die one day.
Yep.
Cool. Up all
hmm
night.
Yep.
Yeah.
Up all night.
Yeah.
Envisioning, picturing. Yep, it's exactly that. A cry log. And this specifically was all the rad reads for
Mm-hmm.
sure.
Yeah, she's so good.
Podcast. Oh, yeah, she is. I think her too was like, it doesn't have to be what it is.
Right.
You change it.
Oh,
Just
by the
put it
time your
together.
episode comes out, hers
She'll
will
have.
already be out. So that's fun.
I know. I want you to do a Marissa Finds a Hobby.
I know, I need to. I
She's
need to.
so
She's
good.
the list I have back. I'm like through June at this point. So I know some people are probably like, why haven't you invited me? And it's just like it's getting there. I just can't get too
Yeah,
ahead of myself or I'll have
right.
a freak out.
Mm-hmm.
But yes. Oh,
And so podcasts, fanfics, gifts that I purchased because we go to a lot of kids' birthday parties.
that's smart. Now look at me pulling my cords out.
Oh my
You
God,
started it first.
we're so analog,
I
so
know.
vintage.
I know. Yeah, so are you just like buying gifts for the kids' birthday parties beforehand or is it catered to the kid?
It's catered to the kid.
Yeah. I love the
Uh,
idea of having just like a gift closet and being like, oh, I just keep it
I could
stocked with
never, I could
stuff.
never be that mom
I
though.
know, I know.
I've seen people like use their basements with like Tupperware that's assigned to a
Mhm.
person. Gifts received just because I'm trying to like, again, looking back and being like, oh, look how loved I am,
I
just and being
know.
thankful, grateful, blessed, right? What I watched at work, and then I put LOL in parentheses. And what I watched at home, it's a lot of Severance. It's a lot
Hmm.
of like wrestling. My husband watches wrestling. I watch it again. It's my reading time. My husband watching
Mm-hmm.
wrestling and I'm reading.
Yeah, that's tennis and cycling and sometimes she gets into soccer.
Yeah.
So I get it.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
keeping a track of the doctor visit log because I
Mm,
will forget.
mm-hmm.
A Costco log that came from Natasha.
Mm.
Her like the things that she buys or how often she buys
Yeah, that's smart.
things.
Mm-hmm.
It's just fun. It's cool. Kid activities because we spend a lot of fucking money on these kids' activities. Get out of my house and go to soccer. Favorite beauty products? I think that was Natasha. Weird and funny things that we say without
Mm.
context.
Mm-hmm.
And so as we say something funny, it's just like, that's so weird. Nobody would get that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because that like trend is going viral on TikTok right now, like
Like the
referring.
language.
Yeah, it's like when I say parkour and nobody says hardcore parkour
Yeah, right,
from
right.
the office.
I gotta be honest with you, I haven't been on TikTok since January.
Good for you. God bless.
And so
It,
I think I do feel a little bit of FOMO.
yeah, well, I mean, fair.
Mm.
It's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and then I have some more blank pages that I haven't quite figured out what to do with
Mm-hmm.
yet, but I'm sure it'll
And
come to me.
is there any art on those pages at all? Will there be? No. Okay.
Oh, well, I did draw a self-portrait, but I'm a Procreate like
Mm-hmm.
artist.
Yeah.
And so I printed
Cute.
out like my one annual selfie that I'll draw. But I really do like this has to be my favorite page.
Yeah,
Like
I
when I
love it.
do the date. Oh my God, next month I'm going to use Natasha's font that just came
Yeah.
out today
Oh, that's such a good
to do my
idea.
April. I'll
Mm-hmm.
find a picture like a background on Pinterest, and then as I find stuff as I go, I'll
Mm-hmm.
print and then glue it in. So this is like my monthly reading wrap up that I post to Instagram with my ratings and then my receiptify of like my
Mm-hmm.
top listened to artists for the month. And
Is there
like
always a selfie on the page?
so far it's
Yeah,
been
I'm a huge fan of like a monthly selfie.
yeah, a monthly selfie. It's not too
At the very least.
self-indulgent
Yeah.
and it
I
keeps
mean,
me accountable. We have to track the bangs because sometimes we get hysterical and cut our bangs
oh, girl,
at
I
2
did bangs
a.m.
for like 15 years. I get it.
No, I feel like I've been trying to grow out my bangs since the eighth grade
Yeah.
and it hasn't happened. So like here's March. I haven't done a selfie yet. But
That's so
here, like
cute.
what is it? This American Girl doll will read a book in public to look mysterious, but actually can't shut the fuck up.
Oh, 100%. Hard
Mood.
relate.
Yeah.
Hard relate.
Yeah. And then it's just the dailies. This is where it's like, who
Mm-hmm.
cares?
Mm-hmm.
What it is what it is, and if
It's like
it's
all
not, it's
vibes.
not. Yeah. And so like
Mm-hmm.
I tried to do an artwork thing where I had a friend of mine that was texting me some really sweet things.
Oh.
And I was like, I could do a screenshot because I do
Uh-huh.
screenshots from text
Mm-hmm.
messages, but I was
Hmm.
like, you know what? I'm gonna draw a
There you
phone.
go. It's so
There's an
cute.
attempt was made, and you know what? I like it.
It's so cute.
It's something. And
I
I
think
bought.
like I think once you like you have to just try it. Like you're
You
saying, an
try it.
attempt was made. Like you just have to try it.
I did a reel where it's like it was January 9th and it's like 9 mistakes I already made in
Oh
my
yeah.
brand new journal. And like day one, I fucked up.
That's
Day
so funny.
two, I put the wrong, like it's just,
Right.
you know what? People are like, how to cover my coffee stain.
Right.
No, make the
I'm
coffee
like
stain
putting a
part of it
coffee stain in there on
on
purpose.
purpose.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
like, what do you mean?
Or even you don't, you
Yeah.
just wasn't intentional. And
That's
so
so
yeah,
funny.
the blank pages are a free for all and
Mm-hmm.
everything else is just so structured.
Mm-hmm.
And that everything that comes after that is more free thought.
Yeah.
Like, and like, so Tuesday, March 11th, I don't care. I don't know. Couldn't tell you what happened, but
100%.
that was the mood for that day.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
Is yours uh gold on the edges?
Yeah.
Can I tell you, I really don't like that. For
I
me.
I like it to begin,
Uh-huh.
and now I see fingernail marks that
Oh,
have like
really?
rubbed off a little
I
bit.
think
So
I
I
have
need to
some
keep
like
them.
weird like small town religious trauma
Anti-Bible. Yep.
around like it
Anti-Bible.
feels Bible. And I also even with my like happy planner stickers, I do not gravitate towards like the shiny
The
silver,
metallic,
shiny
the
gold.
foils.
Yeah, I'm just not a fan of the foils.
Oh. My
But I'm
kids are
sure they
gonna
make
get
an
home in about 2 minutes. The
your child.
buses. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Okay,
And so is my child, aka my girlfriend.
Elaine.
Okay, let me do this then. I have one. I got this journaling card pack.
Oh, nice.
And I'm gonna pull a card and I want you to answer the question.
All right.
Okay. What small things make a big difference to your day?
Small things that make a big difference to my day. I have a front-facing job,
Mm,
and a lot of people will come in and like ask me to do random shit for them, like if there's a need. And
mm-hmm.
when they come by to just say, "Hey,
Oh.
stop. You want to say hi to me?
And you don't need
Really?
anything
And you
from
don't need
me?
me to send that
Yeah.
email or get you a key or make copies." That like truly is the vibe. When people send me, "Oh, I saw this meme.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, love
Saw this and thought of you.
language. Saw this
Yeah.
and thought of you." Or I read that book that you posted about 3 years ago and I loved it.
I
Or
love that.
you never shut up about fan fiction, and so I gave it a shot, and now my whole brain chemistry is altered. Like little things where people like just want to say, "Hey, drop it." Like that changes the whole mood. I live in like a neighborhood that's very kid everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
and so like when like people were like, "I saw what you posted on Instagram and I read that book." I'm like, "Oh my
That's so fun.
thank you so much for the attention. Attention, please."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I could not understand deeper.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's just those when people want to come by to the office and say hi, or
Mm-hmm.
they read that book I recommended, or it's just
Oh my
it's
God.
joy. It's just because sharing things that bring me joy and finding out that they also brought other people joy. Like this
Mm-hmm.
is the human experience.
Yeah. Last question, and then I'm gonna cut you loose.
Got it.
What's something about yourself that you've learned through journaling?
Something that I learned about myself. Well, I already knew that I loved a good tracker, but I
Mm,
think like letting go of the perfectionism that I probably had a whole lot as a youth. Um,
mm-hmm.
or like as a baby person who wished that she was an artist. There's Elaine. Letting that go and just kind of embracing the imperfections has allowed me to like enjoy the experience so much more. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like embracing the messy, embracing, the chaos and embracing that things might not work the way that you envisioned. And it's okay because it's part of the memory part of like the building part of the vision.
Yeah.
I
And it's
really
life.
it's life, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're the best.
Thank
Thank you so
you.
much. This was so
Thank you
fun.
so much.